Dennis Rodman is back in the news. His time as an international diplomat is not over. He will be going back to North Korea to meet with his friend Kim, and hopefully he can accomplish a political goal that we have not been able to accomplish without his aid. So he's been speaking recently to the press. We've got some of his quotes to the Huffington Post about what he's going to be trying to do there. Now, he did say this. I'm going to skip ahead to number 6. I'm just trying to go over there to meet my friend Kim, the marshal. Try to start a basketball league over there, something like that. So yeah, that's wonderful. But then people pressed him, is there anything you can do to help free the journalist Kenneth Bae, who is currently in a 15-year forced labor term for vaguely defined crimes against the North Korean regime? And so when asked about that, Dennis said, I will definitely ask for Kenneth Bae's release. I will say, Marshal, why is this guy held hostage? I could try and soften it up that way. If the marshal says, Dennis, how do you want me to let him loose? And then if I actually got him loose, and I'm just saying this out of the blue, I'd be the most powerful guy in the world. So doing it for all the right reasons, at least, if nothing else.
I didn't know people were calling Kim Jong-un Marshal. Is that a new thing now? He's like the marshal in town, or is
This is Dennis Rodman, so who knows?
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what's so sad about this? Dennis Rodman truly is our ambassador to North Korea. I mean, at this point, there are no higher level talks that anyone is having with North Korea. Remember, Obama said, we got to talk to everybody. We don't even talk to Russia anymore. And Dennis Rodman is the one talking to North Korea. It's just
well,
incredible.
I think it's, the first time he went, it's funny people get upset at him for going there and hanging out. Like Dennis Rodman, like you expect him to do better. And then he was brought on George Snuffleupagus' show, and he's wearing sunglasses and he's drunk. And he's interviewing him seriously. No, George Snuffleupagus is interviewing Dennis Rodman. And he asked him, he goes, didn't you ask him about his human rights abuses? I'm like, it's Dennis Rodman. The toughest question I expect him to ask is this North or South Korea?
Yeah.
That's Dennis Rodman.
And then not understand the answer.
Yes.
Yeah. I do have to say, though, I mean, we covered last week how Kim Jong-un had executed a former girlfriend of his and a number of other musicians, gunning them down, and one man was actually killed through the use of a mortar. I don't know that I would go back if I was Dennis Rodman. He apparently does not have enough respect for the continuation of his life, I guess. This is a dangerous man. Like, he says the wrong thing in the press, and he gets locked up for the rest of his life.
Dennis Rodman is a classic, substance abuser, and that's part of their psychology. Is like, what do you think of Kim Jong-un? Oh, he was nice to me. He was just nice to me. So he's a good guy. He just gave me a drink, or he was nice to me. So that's how they deal with people. He was nice to me. He gave me a ride. I like him. So that's how they deal with people. They were nice to me. He's okay with me.
Yeah, it's just such a bizarre person to choose. Like, even if you were going to take a former NBA player, Dennis Rodman is literally the most bizarre player to ever play professional basketball. So you could have taken anybody. It doesn't have to be Michael Jordan, but you could have taken someone outspoken. You could have taken Charles Barkley. Magic Johnson would have been a great, there's economic benefits to, Magic does a lot of good work. You're taking anybody, but the fact that this is Dennis Rodman, it's just so bizarre.
I think it would have been funny if they would have taken Meta Peace. That'd have been funny. Because his name is Meta Peace.
There you go.
So what's interesting about this, I love that you brought that up. I often will see like a celebrity who has this huge platform where anything they say is going to get covered. Like Justin Bieber could say anything and it will be news on this network even. And then they don't use it for any good. They don't advocate for any issues or anything like that. Maybe in hindsight that's a good thing, because when they do things like Dennis Rodman, and they give weird interviews, and they could possibly die in North Korea. Maybe they should just stick to twerking and things of that sort.